down, the pulse is high. A new season waiting for the green to fly. Kick drum rolling hard in time. Every driver on the line. One more year, one more fight. Eyes ahead into the lights. Breathing full, the revs rise. Flooding cars and sharpened eyes. Hold the clutch, hold the line. Everything rides on the side. Green lights go when the world ignites. Engines screaming through the night. Every lap we chase the line. This is our season, this is our time. From the grid to the final turn. Every inch of speed we earn. Hold it flat, feel the climb. This is our season, this is our time. Cold air rushing through the bends. Mirrors full of rivals and friends. Every corner writes the page. Another chapter on the stage. Feel the grip, feel the flow. Trust the line and let it go. Every lap a chance to climb. Every second on the line. Green lights go when the world ignites. Engines screaming through the night. Every lap we chase the line. This is our season, this is our time. From the grid to the final turn. Every inch of speed we earn. Hold it flat, feel the climb. This is our season, this is our time. Lights fade out, the crowd is gone. But the season rolls on and on. Next race waiting down the line. Another shot at the perfect time. Green lights go when the world ignites. Engines screaming through the night. Every lap we chase the line. This is our season, this is our time. From the grid to the final turn. Every inch of speed we earn. Hold it flat, feel the climb. This is our season, this is our time. Cold tires on the grid tonight.
And a very big hello, everybody. Welcome along to today's coverage of the Formula V Trophy Series. Hope you're all doing well. We're looking forward to a very interesting race here today. We're in the United States and we're at Sebring for round 9. Ignore what you can see on screen of the championship. And really looking forward to today's racing action. If you want to join the league ID is in the window and it's also in the description down below. Would love to see you a part of it. We're about to get underway with qualifying. 10 minutes of qualifying for this one to get underway. Eric Lancheres currently leads the championship and he's got a great little battle going on throughout this season. He's taking on a man who is proven beyond any shadow of a doubt to be super, super quick. I'm referring to Alexander Bugersrud. Now, next week we're going to catch up with this man and have a bit of a chat with him about the way the championship season's going. But earlier on today, I spoke with this gentleman who sits second in the championship, Alexander Bugersrud, and I started off by asking him, it's an interesting season. I was wondering if his thoughts on how he was going to go for the rest of the championship and if he could take it out.
Yeah, I mean, it should be possible. I'm missing 1 week now, and in the races I've done, it's gone very well. So if I get eight weeks without really crashing, it should be difficult for Eric to catch me, but it's definitely going to be a battle. He also has almost only top 2 finishes and some perfect weeks as well, so it's going to be a battle.
How are you finding this week's track? Are you getting your head around it?
Yeah, I like it. It's difficult. It's a weird track. The corners are difficult and like high speed, but not that wide. So it's difficult to push, especially on cold tires, because for some reason I keep spinning. So,
well, good luck out there today, and we certainly will be watching you. Nathan Maroney is joining us as well. Now, Nathan currently leads the World Championship, but he's had a bit of a struggle this season. Nathan, thanks for your time. It's been a tough one for you so far.
Yeah, look, it has been a tough season. We had some hardware changes and some time constraints that didn't let me get as much practice as I'd like on the track before we got on there. See, they're not the normal tracks I drive in the EV. So championship-wise, look, I'm not too worried about getting all the way up to the top. I don't think that's going to happen based off where we are. I'd like to see a strong finish for the next races as a lead up to the next season, and we'll see where we land.
Well, good luck to you, and thank you so much for your time. Let's take a look. Leaf Hellberg currently sits on the top of the time charts with the 118.2. We can expect about a second quicker than that from our front runners. David Gerard back here playing today from the UK. 3.4K driver G. His I rating for Formula cars has gone rocketing up the chart since he's joined the Formula V Trophy Series. It was about a 1.9, I think, about a 2K a few months ago, and he has really lifted himself up. He's doing a fantastic job. There's no argument about that. And on his day, he can run with the front pack as well. So good luck to him for the remainder of the day. Don't forget, Pitbets is a YouTuber. The link to his YouTube channel is in the description down below as well. At the moment, Rodrigo Tostes leads the timesheets. Robbie Wright sits back there in second spot at the moment. Then Nathan Maroney in fourth, David Gerard. Great to see Scotty Brooks back out there. Always love the colour schemes of Scotty's car. He puts a lot of work into those. Thomas Tucker sitting in seventh spot. And Stephen is back there in eighth. They're the ones that have qualified so far. But Eric Lancheres on a flying lap at the moment. Let's join him as he makes his way around the track. Let me just see if I can... No, I can't pull that out. I was going to pull it out so you could see the data on the screen. But currently at the moment, Eric Lancheres, 117.724 for him. Tops the timing monitors as we speak. Christopher Cassiano, difficult week here for Christopher Cassiano. I think you'll find he's had a very busy weekend on the social front. He did pass the sobriety test before he got into the car, so we're all good. Hope he has fun out there. He might regret a very, very long weekend in Las Vegas. I don't know if I can say that, but hey, there you go. Zach Plum comes back out to play today. Great to see this pilot from the UK who is just having a bit of an off-track excursion. Sorry, there's your commentator's curse for today, my friend. And what sort of time did he clock up? Zach. No, not. He actually had a off because of the off track. He didn't get a time. So Eric Lanchera is currently leading at the moment, 1:17.7. Rodrigo sits there in second spot. He's down in the pits. Nathan Maroney goes up to third. Rob Wright in fourth. Todd Wakefield. Great to see Todd Wakefield up in the top five. A Niley campaigner. And he has a big off as well. So that lap for him is going to be out the door. Then Leif Hellberg, who's also come to a slow. Zach Plum was putting in a quick lap. Let's see what he can do here. Is that an off track? Oh, it's a big off track into the wall. So he's made a meal of it. Now have a look at your timing monitors. Alexander on a charge at the moment. Fastest first two sectors. What can he do down through here? Difficult part of the track to get right. This, of course, is the shorter version of the Sebring track. A great track to come and race on. And Alexander at the moment just running smoothly as possible. No, he's about out of it. So there you go. 6 minutes left. He's going to have another launch at it. But this time around, no luck for him. Eric's back out there on track as he continues around. Getting set to start a qualifying lap. Christopher Cassiano's had a couple of green sectors for him. Finds himself in second spot. So the weekend hasn't affected him too dramatically by the look of this. Second with a 1:17.81, not that far off pole position, and they're not quite getting the times that they were during practice. The previous practice session, which goes for an hour just before this session gets underway, was a 1:17.1, but nobody's been able to produce that just yet. Keeping a close eye on the screen at the bottom to see who's on a quick lap. Maroney's improved on his first sector, so is Eric Lancheres. Christopher Cassiano goes to the top, 1:17.7. Good lap from Christopher. What can Maroney do about this one now? Currently sits in sixth spot. Todd Wakefield down there in the pits. A good turnout of Formula V drivers this week. Alexander on track. He's, I'd suggest, having a warm-up lap at the moment. Boogers Rudd slower in his first two sectors. What's Maroney done? Eric Lancheres, 1:17.2, goes to the top of the pops. Maroney down through the back section of the track. We're riding with him at the moment as he starts another lap. And also starting another lap will be Alexander. Now, Zach Plum, he just caught him going sideways in a total drift as he gives this car absolutely everything, trying to see if he can get this elusive pole position. Currently in the stack, he's yet to clock up a time. He needs this one to elevate himself up to a grid position. Time's running out. This is probably his last chance. Let's see what he can do. Alexander goes quick in the first sector. He's just at the fastest time there, languishing down off the charts at the moment, so he needs that lap as well. Zach had a bit of an issue on that second sector, so he's not going to put in a super quick time. Zach sits down in 12th spot. I beg your pardon, 15th spot, 16th spot. Yet to complete a time. What can Alexander do? So we've got three drivers, Alexander, Zach, and Suleiman Khan, that are yet to clock up a time. Lancheres, 1:17.2 for him. That's his quickest lap. Now, can Alexander knock him off the perch? Does so. 1:16.8 for Alexander. So it's all down for Eric Lancheres, who's not out there at the moment. Nathan Maroney, he's out there. Now, I think Lancheres is out there. Yep. Nathan Maroney leading those two cars. So let's see what he can do. Slowest by his standards in the first sector. The same with Eric Lancheres. He wasn't able to improve on his first sector time either. Maroney sits seventh. Eric Lancheres battling for pole position. What can Maroney do? Time is ticking down. 20 seconds left of this session to go. Nathan sits in seventh at the moment. And can he improve that time? Uses every piece of real estate at his disposal. Let's check on Eric. He's sitting right behind him on the track. Nathan with a couple more turns to negotiate before he completes this lap and qualifying is done. So that's the way they're going to end up there. Let's take a look at your grid for the running of this race. Should be a fascinating one. Alexander Burgosrud takes pole position, Eric Lancheres, then Christopher Cassiano, Rodrigo Tostes, Russell Daly, Robbie Wright, Nathan Maroney, Todd Wakefield, Leif Hellberg, Scotty Brooks, David Gerard way back in the pack there, and Ken Pullen rounds out those that qualified. We are getting set to go. This should be an absolute ripper of a race. Our pole sitter, Alexander Burgosrud, just about to come out onto the track. There's Eric Lancheres. He's set, ready to go. Championship leader, ready to do battle, waiting for the one car to come. Alex has just sent me a message saying he risked it all to get that pole position. Well, it's paid off for you, Alex. Let's go. We are set to go for the first heat. The lights start to come on. A jump start by the 7 car. He has jumped the start and will get a black flag as soon as the officials see it. Alexander gets a great start. Eric sits in behind, then Christopher Cassiano in behind Cassiano. A great qualifying performance by that man. Rodrigo Tostes. He's got Nathan Maroney in an accident in the background. There's a huge crash. Leif Hellberg is one of the drivers involved in that as they now make their way around the rest of the track. Let's go back and have a quick look and see what transpired here. There was a 3 and 4 wide as they tried to work their way down. Scotty Brooks on the outside, David Gerard there, and all the action happened up in front of them, and 4 or 5 of them, unfortunately, have found themselves in all sorts of trouble. The good news is damage is off. Rodrigo Tostes in a great little battle with Nathan Maroney at the moment. Up front, Alexander Burgosrud leads the pack. Eric Lancheres wants to get on with it. He hates being in second, Eric. Really looking forward to catching up with him next week. Christopher Cassiano lurking, as he often does. Sits back there in the 3rd spot. Now the battle is on for the race lead. Lancheres on the outside, Alexander on the inside. Alex, is he going to get the better run there? Sees if he can hold Eric out, but Eric's going to have the inside line for this next turn, almost touching the two of them. Cassiano wants to make it 3 wide as well. He wants to get involved in the action. Alexander now has the inside for the right-hander. Lancheres goes late under brakes. Does he run too wide? Yes, he gets off on the grass. Alexander does the switchback. What great racing we've seen here. You want to know if Eric's trying to take the race lead. There is your answer. Launched it straight off the track, carried a stack of momentum through that turn, but somehow he manages to hold down the race lead. Alexander trying to find a way around, and Cassiano waiting to pounce as well. That's the top 3. In behind them, Robbie Wright out on his own at the moment. Sits back there in 4th spot. Rodrigo, after a brilliant qualifying, holding down 5th spot. Scotty Brooks in behind him. Then we go back to Zach Plum, who's worked his way forward. Ken Pullen up into the mix as well. Finds himself in 8th. Then Todd Wakefield. Eric Legault right in behind that pack. And in the slipstream, Suleiman Khan's made his way forward. David Gerard, after having contact on the first turn, sits back there in 12th. 13th is Leif Hellberg. And Stephen Bryan sits back there in 14th. Up front, though, still side by side. Alexander doing battle with Eric Lancheres. These 3, oh gee, they've provided some entertainment this season, haven't they? They've been absolutely stellar. And Robbie Wright not far off the back of this battle as well. Let's bring up that battle box and you can get an idea of the gap between them. Only 1.14 between our race leader and second, but you can see it out on the track, and Cassiano having a think about diving up the inside. And is Scotty Brooks putting some pressure on at the moment? Zach Plum's right on the back of him. I thought for a second that he was having a go at Rodrigo Tostes. Maybe he did, and has just come out second on that. Zach Plum under pressure at the moment. Ken Pullen is keeping him extremely honest. Up front, Alexander's gone back to the race lead. Look how much of this track that they are using. Leaving nothing on the table. And that is legit. That picture down in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, that is Alex. Having a chat with him during the week. Late at night, because he's over in Europe. Oh, look at this. Side by side they go. This is on for young and old. Christopher Cassiano sitting in the plum seat watching this battle up in front. He's following Alex around at the moment, and I think just trying to stay out of trouble. If these two get it wrong, he wants to make sure that he's in a position where he can capitalise and potentially take the lead of this race. Robbie Wright can see them off in the distance, would dearly love to be on the back of them. David Gerard's just picked up another spot there out on track. Right in the middle of a huge battle at the moment is David, the Pit Bits pilot, up behind Suleiman Khan's in his slipstream at the moment. He just got round Eric Legault, and Eric wants to go on with it. He's down the inside. David cuts across. I think he may have tagged him and looped himself around and loses another couple of spots. Now, Eric Lancheras has got Christopher Cassiano right behind him. Problems there for Alexander. He's lost a stack of spots, but he's still in the slipstream, so it's not over by any stretch of the imagination. We've still got plenty of time left to go. Only 1/3 of this race in the bank, but has that brought Robbie Wright into the mix? No, he's 2 seconds back, or just shy of 2 seconds. Eric under pressure now from Christopher Cassiano, who's looking very, very racy. Maybe trips to Vegas to catch up with friends is a good way of him going racing, because he's on it today. And he's going to go through and put his nose in front. Gets it in front on the timing monitor, but Eric's got the inside line to this next corner. Tries to go side by side with him, almost gets tagged. Alexander now trying to find his way through and back to the pointy end of the field. Sits back there in third, but there's V's everywhere in front of him. Lancheras goes defensive. Cassiano stays in second. Then we've got Alexander. Good little battle now too. Zach Plum on a huge charge here. He's loomed up behind Rodrigo Tostes, got into the slipstream, and you get the feeling with the pace he's showing here in this first heat, he will be able to get round Rodrigo. Great for Zach, disappointing for Rodrigo, because he had an absolute ripper of a qualifying session to put himself right in contention for this one. But either way, even if Zach does get past, there'll be very valuable championship points up for grabs. Here he goes, looks to the inside. Can he make it work? Down into the right-hander they come. Hard under brakes. Rodrigo decides to bow out of it. And in behind them too, Scotty Brooks and Pullen doing battle. Those two side by side. Down through that hairpin part of the track. And in behind them, Todd Wakefield. He's going to make every post a winner. Todd's picked up another spot. He's got around Scotty Brooks on the timing monitor, at least anyway, but he's on the outside. Scott goes late under brakes as he attacks. Or defends, depends which way you want to look at it. So back up front, look at Alexander. He is keen to get on with this one. He wants the race lead, and he is hassling. He is absolutely monstering our race leader. Cassiano has an off-track moment. He'd be having the time of his life out there at the moment. That's what he can see over the dash. Right up behind Alexander. Did get his nose in front at one point in this race for that race lead. Anybody going to make a move here? Down into the hard braking area they come. Alexander goes to the outside. Lancheras defends the inside. Alexander goes for the switchback. Gee, gets a great run out of that turn. Absolutely flying at the moment. Will he get the race lead? He's got his nose in front. That's Zach Plum saying to Rodrigo Tostes, if you bump draft me, we can catch up to these guys. And Rodrigo has said yes. Alexander goes through to the race lead. That won't be the last time it changes. Let's go back and check these boys out. Bump drafting at a V around Sebring. That's got to be fun. We've got to check that out. He's not attacking, he's playing the game, but can he get close enough to give Zach a little bit of a bump draft? The gap not much between them. Up front, Alexander leading. Look how these guys are just launching around this track. They are on the absolute limit here. Lancheras relegated back to second. He'll take that personally. And while that was taking place, Stephen back in the pack has had an issue, as it happened all on his own. He's out there on his own. Just looped it round, unfortunately for him. Up front again, Eric Lancheres around the outside into the hairpin. Alexander still with his nose in front. And once again, Chris Cassiano sitting there waiting to pounce. You can replay any of these laps. It's been absolutely identical. Rodrigo still can't get onto the back of Zach Plum, but does have Ken Pullen, Scotty Brooks and Todd Wakefield looming in very, very quickly. Great little dice taking place here. Scotty Brooks can't get past Ken Pullen, who's doing an outstanding job this week to find himself up into the top 5, sitting in 7th spot. Now, oh, what's happened? Eric Lancheres has gone rocketing through the pack. He had an off-track. Let's go back and see what happened. Contact between he and Alexander, and he gets shunted out into the grass and finds himself further back down the pack in 4th spot at the moment. So plenty of work for him to do. He will be absolutely ropeable at the end of that. Just the smallest amount of contact between those two, and it got the car airborne. Now have a look. Robbie Wright has come right into this fight as well. He goes past Alexander. What's Alexander doing? Looks like he's slowed down. Maybe he feels that he gave... Well, I'm not going to open my mouth, but I don't know. But it looks like he might be slowing down to let Eric go past. Maybe he feels he was at fault for that contact. I don't know, but he's certainly not battling for the race lead at the moment. Let's wait and see what happens. If Eric catches him and passes him very quickly, we'll have our answer. Maybe he just made a mistake of his own. I don't know. Maybe he just made a mistake of his own. Nathan Maroney continuing to have a torrid time as well out there on track. He's had a couple of off tracks as well. Was this a big one? Well, big enough to destroy his momentum. A torrid time here in the Formula V Trophy Series this season. No, I was wrong. Alex has just had some sort of an issue, so credit to Christopher Cassiano and to Robbie Wright, 1st and 2nd at the moment. So some new faces at the pointy end of the pack. In particular, Robbie Wright. He's the man who puts so much work into the Formula V Trophy Series to keep it up and going. Selects the racetracks that we're coming to each and every round, and is the administrator of the series. Alexander goes past. Eric Lancheres goes past. Robbie Wright wants absolutely nothing to do with it. He's happy to let them go and fight in the hope that they may have some sort of issues. Now, Zach Plum still 2 seconds off Robbie Wright's time. Rodrigo about half a second behind him. Alexander goes through to regain the race lead over Chris Cassiano. Eric Lancheres in 3rd. Rodrigo Tostes apologising to somebody. He's disappeared down the list on me, so he's had some sort of a drama as well. Had an off track. He just had an off track. Nothing too dramatic. Now, Alexander's given himself a bit of breathing space here. He's pulled out half a second. I think that's the biggest gap that we've seen so far in this race. And time is ticking down, people. Not long to go in this one before it is all over Red Rover. Christopher Cassiano, what is he going to do? Is he going to settle for 3rd spot, or is he going to try and stick his nose up the inside and potentially pick up 2nd? Lancheres goes to the outside. He's confident with his line. Chris doesn't attack. And Robbie Wright sitting right behind him as well. Robbie Wright sitting back there in 4th. Cassiano goes around Eric, who looked like he had a problem. And a problem back in the pack too for Eric Legault. He's had a crash. Ken Pullen's had a crash as well. That's all happened while this was taking place. Robbie Wright now battling for a potential 3rd, 2nd spot here. Eric Lancheres in all sorts of trouble, but have a go at Alexander Boogazrud. He's got a massive gap by Formula V standards. They won't catch him, so it's all up for the minor prize at the moment between Eric Legault and Robbie Wright. Christopher Cassiano in that mix as well. Sits back there in 4th after having led a couple of laps of this race. And as we get closer to this checkered flag, Robbie Wright, you get the feeling he wants to have a go, but he may just settle for 3rd spot and pick up those valuable championship points. Couple of minutes left to go in this race. We're on lap number 11, 14 in the bank, and time is ticking away. Let's go back further in the pack. Zach Plum finds himself in 5th. Then we go to Scotty Brooks, Todd Wakefield, and Suleiman Khan right behind them. Rodrigo, after starting so well, finds himself in 9th, and Maroney on another comeback drive, sitting down there in 10th spot. Leif had an issue. Let's check out the Stephen Bryan crash and see what we could find from that. Looks like he may have done it on his own. This is not a replay of what we saw earlier on, but just gets it wrong in turn 1 and loops it round. So did he collect anyone in the process? No, good on him. Managed to get out of the way. Back up at the pointy end of the field, Alexander continues his run. Now Eric has given himself a little bit of breathing space over Robbie Wright. The Canadian starts the charge, but he may have run out of time. A quick lap, 1:16.8 in race trim for Eric. He holds the fastest lap of this race, but he's got a considerable gap to our race leader. On board with Christopher Cassiano, sits in 4th. Can he get round Robbie Wright? You know he's going to have a go, right? You just know he's going to have a go. In the slip, pulls to the outside. So they're going to go side by side into the hairpin, the right-hander. Christopher Cassiano gets a great run. Can he make it stick? Robbie Wright holds that inside line. They give each other racing room, but they tag. Robbie just got a little bit of understeer and bumped into the side of Chris Cassiano. And I dare say, on the exit, he lifted as a way of saying, hey, look, that was my fault. The car definitely slipped. Good little battle behind. Robbie Wright now wants to have a go, and the checkered flags come out. Alexander Bugasrud has taken the victory in the first heat over Eric Lancheres. Christopher Cassiano, Zach Plum managed to hold down 5th. Then Todd Wakefield, Scott Brooks, Suleiman Khan, Nathan Maroney. His woes continue, finishes in 10th. Then we go back to Leif Hellberg. Behind him, David Gerard, Eric Legault, Thomas Tucker, Russell Daly has just completed his race, and Stephen Bryan as well in 16th, with Ken Pullen unfortunately being involved in contact and not finishing that race. I'll go back and see if we can see Ken's crash, because we haven't seen that yet. Here's what happened to Ken. Pardon me. Does he? Oh, he brakes. I think he may. No. He just gets up on the ripple strip and does it all himself. But who was the car behind? Let's go back and take a look. They had a bit of a torrid time. Was he given? He might have been given a tap. I don't know. We can't show you, but we stand by for this second race to get underway. Let's check the grid for this one. Alexander's going to take pole position. Eric alongside Chris. Then we go to Robbie, Zach, Todd, Scott, Suleiman, Rodrigo, Nathan, Leif, and David Gerard rounding out the top 10 in this one. And we are standing by to go racing. We're just waiting for them to all take the grid. Most of them are out there. Alexander waiting to get this one underway. Still a couple of cars to come out. Ken Pullen and Zach Plum, the two drivers to take their positions. The Burger on pole, and the lights come on. This is the feature race. This is the big one. Who's going to take victory? Revs build and away they go. The green light is on. Oh, problems in the pack. Suleiman Khan tagged the back of one of the other drivers. They're going everywhere, and Nathan Maroney involved in that as well. Huge dramas back in the pack. Todd Wakefield was that got absolutely launched skywards. Ken Pullen, where is he?
Thanks, guys.
I think he's down in the pits, and Nathan Maroney, you can hear his voice through radio chat. Not a very happy camper at the moment. Race leader, Alexander Bugasrud, with Eric Lancheres behind, Christopher Cassiano, Robbie Wright, Scotty Brooks up into 5th. He had a blinder of a start. Now, Ken Pullen got a jump start.
Can everyone laugh at Zach for me?
Doesn't show you the jump start, but it says you got a jump start. So that's one of the dramas that took place out there. Lots of chat going on at the moment. Eric Lancheras goes for that outside run. Gee, likes the outside. Comes across, picks up his line, leaves racing room. I think they tagged. No harm, no foul, though. Eric Lancheras takes the race lead. And still side by side, these two. It's just going to go on for the whole race, isn't it? We know that. Robbie Wright sits back there in fourth. Let's take stock. Scotty Brooks. In behind Scotty Brooks, David Gerard has managed to avoid all of that drama earlier on. Finds himself up in sixth spot. He's got Rodrigo all over the back of him. This is where we expect to see David. 3.4K driver from the UK. Loves his motorsport. Loves his YouTube channel. It does a great job. Rodrigo is right behind him. Then Suleiman Khan is in a war. He's got Stephen Bryan and Thomas Tucker. Thomas Tucker looks like he's keen to go forward. He's up in the top 10 here, all over the back of Stephen, who runs a little bit wide there as he goes defensive. Around the outside goes Thomas. He's got Eric Legault sitting right behind him. Change of positions up front. Eric Lancheras gets to the inside. Goes side by side again with Alex down in the hairpin. They give each other racing room. Robbie Wright sitting right in this battle as well. That's what he can see over his dash. And that's exactly what he looks like down in the bottom left-hand corner. That is exactly what Robbie looks like. The ninja caricature. And he's got Scotty Brooks right behind him. Now it'll be interesting to see how these guys play out. Both from the karting world. And Scotty Brooks, I think Scotty Brooks is keen to get past here. And these guys, as they battle, David Gerard's come into this battle as well, getting closer to being able to find himself in the slipstream. So great dicing going on, and the more these guys fight up front, the easier that task is going to be for Gerard. And Gerard is bringing Rodrigo Tostes into the fight as well, as you can see. Robbie Wright's just fallen out of the slipstream now as Eric Lancheras lines up another potential overtaking manoeuvre on Alexander. Chris Cassiano biding his time yet again. Goes to the outside to pick up the racing line. Side by side, Alex has got it at the moment. Eric gets a great run out of the corner though. Absolutely flying, these two. Side by side, they continue on. They've been like this from the get-go. For the very first race, Eric's got his beak in front. It's going to be a late break there for Alexander to hold this one. Once again, they get close. Eric takes the outside line. He's still almost there. Clear. Now he is. Great driving by all three of them. Now, Robbie's been brought back into this pack as Eric goes very defensive early on. Robbie Wright now right up onto the tail of Christopher Cassiano, and he's brought his former karting teammate Scotty Brooks into the fray. David Gerard still has a bit of work to do. Rodrigo Tostes is being smart. He's sitting there behind David and waiting to see if David can bridge this gap to the guys in front. That gap I speak of is only 1.5 seconds, so he's capable of doing it. Fastest lap so far, a 1:17.3 from Zach Plum, who's languishing down in 15th spot, and I think he's out of this race. Is he in pit lane? Yes, he is. He is in pit lane, so problems for him. Oh, Alexander Bugasrad gets very loose in the braking area. That's allowed the door to be open for Christopher Cassiano. Can't get the overtaking manoeuvre done. I think I heard Robbie Wright. I think he might have been talking to Scotty Brooks there. Now still side by side, this battle for the race lead. The Canadian on the inside. Oh, very good racing. Alexander with his nose back in front. Robbie Wright is able to get into this battle, but doesn't seem to want to go forward. Hard under brakes there. Looks like the guys in front slowed down just a little bit more than he anticipated, because I heard the front right lock up because he has Scotty Brooks behind. So we've got 3 Canadians in the top 5. They'll be letting us know that in no small way. David Gerard, 1.7 now behind this battle, so unable to close the gap at this stage. His last lap was a 118.2 compared to the 118.0 of the 2 guys in front. Now they're starting their dancing game. 6 minutes of the race gone, approaching the halfway mark. Alexander Bugersrud leading the pack. Eric Lancheres second, Crassiano third. Let's go back in the pack. We've got Leif Hellberg looming in on the back. He's just outside the top 10 at the moment. Maroney's just made his way back into the top 10. He's got Eric Legault in front of him. A mountain of work for this guy to do. Had some technical issues at the start of the season which put paid to his way. Suleiman Khan is under pressure at the moment from Rodrigo Tostes. Rodrigo, he's got the green and gold fox as his photo, and he is on a charge at the moment, up into 8th and all over the back of Suleiman Khan. Suleiman was able to get past him and now is setting his sights on David Gerard. David Gerard will be very keen to keep that spot. 6th at the moment. But Suleiman looks like he's got a mountain of pace and a great slipstream from him. Tries to go to the outside as they come down to the hairpin, and he is going to have his nose well in front by the time they get there. David Gerard decides to back out of it. Well done to Suleiman Khan. Up into 6th spot and now sets his sights on Scotty Brooks. Up front, situation status quo. Eric Lancheres and Alexander doing battle, and Christopher Cassiano being a pain in the fight as well. I say that in the nicest possible terms. Eric goes through to the race lead, runs a little bit wide, just loses a touch of that momentum that he was carrying and allows Alexander back into the fight. Ooh, door slam there. I don't think there was anything intentional. Alexander gives him a bit of a bump to let him know I don't think he's overly appreciative of that. And it's a 5-way dice for the race lead. Now, Robbie and Scott have been very patient. They've sat back there and they haven't tried to attack these guys up in front. I don't know whether that's a tactic or that they're just on the absolute limit. The time is ticking down. We're over the halfway mark. Alexander now goes for the race lead. Oh, these two have touched there. Not sure what that was all about. The exit of the corner, they get very close. I get a feeling that this is starting to get very serious between these two. Not that it wasn't from the first practice session of round 1, but it certainly is now. Robbie Wright gets on the brakes early. Cassiano holding down 3rd spot at the moment. Alexander trying to get a run on Lancheres. I think he might have lifted there and backed out of it. That's allowed Cassiano up the inside. He's going to move forward to 2nd spot. Has a bit of an off track. That'll cost him a bit of momentum. Manages to gather it all up. Now, Eric, can he make hay while the sun is shining? He'll certainly be trying. Suleiman Khan has a 2.7 second gap to the guys in front. And David Gerard has lost out to Rodrigo Tostes as well while that was taking place. Rodrigo moves up to 7th. And he's going with Suleiman Khan. David Gerard trying to hang on to this battle. The Pitbits pilot now sees them go side by side down into the braking area. Suleiman's safely going to hold down 6th spot on this lap. But David not having the race he wanted, I wouldn't think. Less than 5 minutes left to go in this race. Alexander has had 1 victory now. What's interesting for our race leader is he has lap traffic up in front. The lap traffic gets out of the way, does a great job. So great sporting endeavour there by Stephen Brian to get out of the way. They've got Russell Daly 13 seconds down the road, so in theory they shouldn't catch him. Let's watch it from Alexander's rear chase point of view. Up behind our race leader. Nothing between the two. There's been a few laps, so the tempers may have calmed down. Christopher Cassiano sits back there in third. He's got a great view of this fight up front. And Scotty Brooks, who holds down fifth. Oh, hang on a sec. Up front, Alexander's going for it. Does he get these? He's got his nose in front, but he's on the outside for this tight right-hander. Does he get the run? A beautiful run through that corner. They're going to stay side by side. What's Christopher Cassiano going to do? The 11 car, the Cannon, looks to try and make it 3 wide, decides against it. Lancheras has got the inside line for the right-hander, though. Can Alex stick there? He's going to try. Side by side they go. Lancheras just got a little bit loose in that corner and had to lift, cost him some momentum. Now, Alexander would desperately love Cassiano to get past, but it's not going to happen. Eric's too wily for that. Now gets a great run. The battle for the race lead between these two is insane. We've seen it from the moment the green flag came out in the first heat, and it's continued on. And a great 5-way dice. Now, while that's been taking place, David Gerard has managed to get past Rodrigo Tostes, so he's not done with yet. He's up behind Suleiman Khan and coming forward. Maroney's found himself up into ninth, but he's got a huge gap of nearly 5-6 seconds to the car in front of Rodrigo Tostes. That'll be a mountain to climb. I think I might just put on my push buttons that Alexander and Eric are side by side and save my voice. Because every lap we come back to them, that's exactly what we are seeing. A great little dice between them as we go on board the blimp. Not sure what Robbie said to Scott there. But Scott agreed. Now they're still side by side. They're touched again. Lancheras and Alexander. Now Cassiano has got up into second on the timing monitor anyway. What can he do? No, he's decided to back out of it. Oh, this is intense as. Now Robbie sits back there in fourth. They haven't challenged for the race victory yet. But now there's only a couple of minutes left to go in this race. That could change dramatically. They're certainly within striking range, both Robbie Wright and Scotty Brooks. The battle up front.
That's it. 25-minute time penalty.
Down the outside goes Alexander. Maroney having a bit of a laugh there with Robbie Wright. Alexander tries to get the power down. Eric's got his nose in front. It's a great dice. Cassiano looks right, looks left. He's like a prize fighter. He's like Mike Tyson in his prime, trying to find a way past to get that uppercut in so that he can move forward in the back, but unable to do it. Who's in front at the moment? Alex has just got his nose in front, but Lancheras has got the inside line. They go side by side. Oh, this is crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Robbie Wright now getting very racy back there in fourth. The time is almost over for these guys. Almost over. Alex gets a little bit wide. The car snaps on him. Doesn't lose too much momentum. Runs wide again. Gets it almost off track. And that allows the door open for Eric Lancheras. Goes through to take the race lead at a valuable time in the race. Christopher Cassiano still holds down third spot, but this might be all over Red Rover as they come down to complete their final lap. These guys down towards the tight braking area. This was going to be insane. Alexander gets a run. Cassiano wants in. Tries to make it 3 wide, does he? No, he's just sitting back on the outside. Lancheras so late under brakes. Runs wide. Alexander gets caught out by it. Cassiano has it off track. Robbie Wright sticks his nose up the inside. It's now 2 by 2. Have a go at this. Can Robbie Wright come through and take the lead? He's going to try. They're going 4 wide. Give me a break. My voice can't handle it. Here comes Scotty Brooks. He wants to make it 5 wide. Checkered flag comes out. What a finish. The closest ever finish between the top 4 for the Formula V Trophy Series. Eric Lancheres, congratulations. He held on to take the race victory over Alexander's Boogers run. Christopher Cassiano, Robbie Wright, Scotty Brooks, Suleiman Khan, David Gerard, Rodrigo Tostes, Nathan Maroney, Eric Legault, Alif Hellberg, Thomas Tucker, Russell Daly, Stephen Bryan, Zach Plum, Todd Wakefield and Ken Pullen round out the competitors that took part. Oh my goodness. What a finish to that race. Let's go back and take another look. That was absolutely insane. Let's see if we can get another look. We'll just rewind a little bit. This is the way they finished this race. Can you believe it? Look at the gap. I can't even, it's so tight. Let me bring this up. Let's go back frame by frame. Wow. What a finish. That's the gap.
Well, thanks for coming out, guys.
Unbelievable. That is the gap for the checkered flag. Can you believe it? Eric Lancheres just getting there for this one. Let's see if we can go check the championship results. I still can't get them to come up on our graphics, but they will come up within the league. So let's go to the league and see if the championship has been updated. I don't think there'll be too much difference, to be fair. Yes, it looks like it has come up because there's the official results up on screen. Let's just check those official results on the iRacing calendar for the feature. Eric, Alexander, Chris, Robbie, Scotty Brooks, Suleiman Khan, David Gerard, Rodrigo, Nathan, Eric, rounding out the top 10. And that is the way they finished that one. That championship, let's go back to that and take another look. Eric leads the way, 535 points. Alexander on 513. Robbie Wright jumps up the pecking order, now in third. Well done, Robbie. Sean Kavinsky didn't race today. He's back there in fourth. David Gerard in fifth. David did say at the end of last season on his YouTube channel that he hoped to finish in fifth, and he's been floating around that the entire season. Christopher Cassiano, tough day for him. Got there, almost had a chance of taking a race victory. He sits sixth in the championship. He is moving his way forward. Rodrigo Tostes, Nathan Maroney, what can we say that he didn't say in our pre-race interview? Russell Daly in the top 10 and Eric Legault in that position as well. Wow, what an extraordinary race. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We do appreciate it. Don't forget, if you want to be a part of the league.
Hi, I'm Rob. I run the Formula V Trophy League in iRacing, league number 13632. If you're looking for something faster and more exciting than the regular V races, join the Formula V Trophy League. We race at 5 paid tracks, which equate to 6 races, including Sebring, Imola, Interlagos, Brands Hatch, Suzuka, 2 ovals. So you're going to get a lot of racing that you won't get on the regular schedule. We run heat races, 15 minutes each race. We run Sunday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see you there.
And well done on your progression in the Formula V Trophy Series by TGR Nation. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Don't forget, tomorrow we will be doing the flip race. It'll be a post-produced race yet again. We'll look forward to catching up with you then. Next week at this time, it'll be back for the Formula V Trophy Series. You have a good one. We'll look forward to catching up with you soon.